Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and tonight we're taking a look at Warcry Bloodhunt. This is the latest Warcry starter set, taking place in the realm of Gur. My understanding that this is actually the last one in the series that kind of has the same themed terrain together. So let's go ahead and break this open. Now, as you can see, that is my fuzzy companion, Hazel. Now, I do like that for this box set that they actually just did those taped edges instead of actually covering the whole thing in plastic. All right, so with the previous Warcry boxes, it looked like there was a lot more sprues in here in those boxes, and so it kind of looks like there's not as much here, but with pieces like this, it is taking up a bit of room. So let's take a look. Like here we have a lot of the bamboo platforms, maybe some or bamboo walls, it looks like. So this is our walkways, as well as some of the barriers, some of the stone that's used to kind of make up the terrain itself. And then it looks like this is a second, or no, this is an entirely different sprue. This actually looks like it's more of the actual, no, these are, looks like bamboo walls as well. And then we got some bones, rocks and things like that. Another ladder. More platform, and these are the actual trees. Now, these trees are very interesting because they are meant to be kind of more like musculature and not like traditional bark. And the trees themselves basically are deadly, just like your opponents. So in that realm or in that area, you definitely want to watch out for the trees even when you're on the platforms. Now, I don't believe that there's any mechanics for the trees to actually do anything to you in game, and I feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity. And I love these giant pieces with these giant spinal column pieces, and it kind of hints at like some massive creatures that are no more. That I wish they would kind of maybe bring back and kind of do like almost like a raid boss type thing. I think that would be really cool to have like a larger warband than you normally have, like maybe like combine two warbands together or something like that to take it on, where one player is playing that and then like 1 to 2 other players are playing the warbands, and kind of similar to what they had with like the older Warcry books, where you had monsters coming in like the Ragnarok spider and gargants and things like that. Now this right here, this is the corn themed sprue. And now these guys alone are why I wanted this kit, because I love their overall look, because they are themed around oh god, I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Let's see if it says on the back of the box. Karanak, something like that. He's one of the demons of corn, and he's basically the 3-headed kind of corn hound. And one of the guys, once he's all done, looks very much like kind of a half-human version of him, and it's definitely quite menacing. And I mean, looking at the sculpts right here, I mean, there's a ton of detail in it and look absolutely fantastic. And I'm very excited to actually build them. And here we have the Soul Blight Gravelord's version, or warband. Not nearly as much detail. They're a lot more sleek, kind of more elegant looking, other than the kind of lupine member of the warband. Kind of fits in with the aesthetic from Cursed City and the Vikros dynasty that Radukar is a part of. So these guys kind of fit with that same look. Now, when I finally paint these guys to kind of match with the rest of my Soulblight Gravelords from Cursed City, I'm definitely going to do their bases in the same fashion, where all of the other Chaos Warbands, I'm going to be doing them in the same fashion that way, because they're going to be tied to my greater Slaves of Darkness army. So with these guys, I'm going to be doing the same kind of thing, but again, themed with my Cursed City Soulblight Gravelords. But some great looking models. The lupine character is definitely my favorite of the sculpts. A lot of great looking detail here, and these guys are definitely gonna be a lot of fun to paint. But at the same time, they don't have nearly as much character as the Khornite Warband does, and those guys are, again, really why we're here. And I definitely really like the artwork that comes in the divider. All right, so we have one larger base. So that is going to be for the guy himself, the one that I was talking about that kind of resembles Karnak. Here we have our cards. We're not going to open them because we don't want to make a mess with them. But this is going to be your cards for both the your map setup, your stat cards for each of the characters, things like that. And then we have our bases, and then we have right here we have our rule book. Now, if they do the same thing with this box set that they did with the previous ones, the warband tome will be available separately, so will the actual warbands themselves. So the Claws of Karnak and the Eskargan True Blades. Now, like, the color choices here actually make them really stand out a lot more than your typical Soulblight Graveyard army does. The orange really stand out and look really nice with them. I'm actually thinking about maybe mimicking something like that to kind of make these guys stand apart, but a lot of blacks and purples is what I typically use for my Soulblights, so maybe throwing some of that in there too. And then we have our actual rule book, and we have a lot of information about different quests and hunts, some of the lore, just like what we see in the battle tomes. And then we go to Predator and Prey, where we actually see the different warbands in action. Then we go to Nexus of Blood, which this is the actual rules for this box set. Now the overall mechanics are going to be the same, but this will add new abilities, new reactions, new models as well. And then we go into actual additional Gnarlwood terrain rules. So it's been a little while since I've played with them with the previous box sets, so couldn't remember if they actually do anything. But so there are primal fortifications, as you can see right here, sort of like a fortified Gnarlok or Gnarlok, fortified platform, special rules. So there are definitely some rules there. But I'm not seeing anything that kind of imitates the hungry nature of the trees. Then we go to Campaign of Slaughter. And these are the various quests for those warbands. and then your battle plan generator, deployment maps, and then background tables for creating your actual warband and naming each of the characters, things like that. And you can do first names and last names, and like I like this one right here for the Corn Army. Mangler of the Week is the last name. One of them is Unintelligible Snarling. With the True Blades, one of theirs, the last name is Slayer the Great Teska Drake. Amberfang, the Red Victor, Blade of Dusk. So a lot of really cool names in here, which I've never actually really paid attention to in the other boxes. So it tells me that there's definitely something that I've completely missed out on making use of, and that's with naming the characters. Now, with the assembly guide, here, as we've come to expect, the multi-tone assembly instructions, and let's see, and some of them do have customization options, as you can see up here, like the different heads to your spears. So definitely a lot of cool looking models. Cannot wait to get started with building these guys. Like I said, they look absolutely fantastic. But I know that for me, the Khorne Knight Warband is definitely going to get the most attention. I'm really looking forward to building them specifically. But that's it for today. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I hope you have a great night.